Excellency,
Each of them will briefly talk about his or her experiences during the time. Without further ado, may I invite Ms. Chumsukha to be the first topic on women and family, then followed by politics, culture, livelihood, education, and youth. Ms. Chumsukha, please.
Good afternoon, His Excellency Rouge, Ramos-Horta, President of Timor-Leste, winner of the Nobel Prize, Peace Prize, and delegation. His Excellency Dr. Khmer, Senior Minister and Royal Government of Cambodia, Vice Chairman of the Supreme National Council of Education, PUC Founder, Chairman of PUC Board of Trustees, Dr. Chia Samdang, PUC President, Dean, and faculty members. First of all, I would like to thank the PUC to give me this opportunity to deliver a short presentation about women and family during Khmer Rouge from April 17, 1975 till January 7, 1979. In fact, there is a lot of information on the internet, but the story that I'm going to tell you about are true and I learned from the people around me, which is called children group and called Tongkoma. As mother, women could not meet or take care of them in terms of food, education, or sickness. Mother was very worried about their children. They did not know whether they were fine, sick, or hungry. The only one thing that women could do at that time was crying silently and pray to the Buddha. And if they refused, they would be destroyed or put in jail. During Khmer Rouge, all the people worked for exchange little food or sometimes no food. Khmer Rouge said women and men have equal rights. Therefore, if men can carry 100 kilograms of rice, women have to do so. But naturally, women are weaker than men. Therefore, they cannot do the same physical work as men. However, Khmer Rouge did not care about this, and they forced women to overwork, so they became sick and died gradually. In contrast, in new Cambodian society, men and women have equal rights in terms of sharing ideas and working in any department of the government. For example, in one family, if husband cannot earn enough money, women can work outside and help. But if husband can support the family alone, women just stay home and do household chores, looking after children and give additional education to the kids. Husband and wife help each other in earning money and doing housework. Nowadays, women work to fulfill their needs and to improve their standard of living. Women live happily and can decide to do what they want. My presentation finished now. Thank you for attention.
About significant Cambodian political situation during the Khmer Rouge regime. Then the country became the constitutional monarchy, which was under the leadership of King Norodom Sihanouk from 1953 to 1970. After living in peace and tranquility about a decade, Cambodia was threatened by internal crises such as economic difficulties, corruption, growing alienation between the people and the government, the growth of militant communists, and external crises, for instance, conflicts in neighboring Vietnam. Because of those crises, King Sihanouk's period of reign was ended up by a bloodless coup on March 18, 1970. After King Sihanouk was overthrown by the pro-American Field Marshal Lon on March 18, 1970, a new regime called the Khmer Republic was instated in October 1970. By then, Cambodia was plunged into civil war and the Vietnam War. And on April 17, 1975, the Khmer Republic collapsed and the Khmer Rouge Khmer forces occupied Phnom Penh. Now permit me to quickly describe the political situation under the democratic Cambodia, known to the world as the Killing Field, the regime which was under the firm control of Pol Pot from April 17, 1975 to January 7, 1979. The collapse of the Khmer Republic on April 17, 1975 marked the victory of the democratic Cambodia, the communist Khmer Rouge under the leadership of Pol Pot. Soon after occupying Cambodia's towns and cities, the Khmer Rouge evacuated all city dwellers into the countryside to remote, far-flung, or malaria areas with little or no preparation. The city dwellers had been told that they had to leave immediately because the Americans were going to bomb the cities, but that they would be allowed to return in a few days. During that chaotic evacuation, mass executions were first conducted for the former Khmer Republic soldiers, military officers, police, intellectuals, and all educated people whom they could find. Also, civil servants and officials of the Lon regime were asked to identify themselves. The Khmer Rouge said the civil servants and officials would be needed to have run the country. But instead of being taken to have run the country, as they were told, they were taken and immediately shot dead. All urban people who had been evacuated were forced to take up agricultural tasks, such as clearing land, planting crops, and building canals, all under severe supervision from armed soldiers and Khmer Rouge cadres. Living conditions deteriorated, especially for those unaccustomed to physical labor. Every single day, people were murdered for complaining about living conditions, for expressing religious sentiments, for not working hard, for collecting food for their own use, for having sexual relations, or for grieving over the loss of relatives or friends. The evacuees from the cities were driven hard, rising before 5 a.m. in the morning and sometimes working until 8 p.m. if there was sufficient light. Where auctions were not available, groups of 8 people pulled plows in their stead. Workers who did not meet their quota were reprimanded, and if they did not improve, they were sent to the Angkale, means higher organization, which meant execution. Workers were not given enough to eat and had to forage in the field and woods for lizards, crabs, insects, etc. The Khmer Rouge soldiers told the evacuees that they had it easy compared to what the revolutionaries had to endure during the war. When workers complained about the food, the soldier told them, "If you are not happy, we will take you to a place where there is more than enough to eat, i.e. to the place of execution, where there were many dead bodies." The Khmer Rouge soldiers, on the other hand, had plenty. They justified the difference on the argument, "You are prisoners of war. We were hungry for 5 years. Now it's your turn." The Khmer Rouge isolated Cambodia from all foreign influences. At that time, Cambodia had a severe absence of teachers, professors, doctors, engineers, lawyers, bankers, artists, monks, and other civil servants. Traditional family life was violently disrupted and virtually abolished. families were broken up and were replaced with communal groupings. Children, siblings, parents, husbands, wives, and grandparents all work and live separately from each other. The people live in a very frightening situation, and no one trusted one another. Buddhism and other religions were repressed ruthlessly. Temples were destroyed or put to secular uses, and monks were defrauded, tortured, and forced to do manual labor. Markets, currency, and formal education were beyond imagination. During its rule over Cambodia, the Khmer Rouge, under the political and ideological leadership of Pol Pot, strove to build a socially and ethnically homogeneous society by abolishing all pre-existing economic, social, and cultural institutions, and transforming the population of Cambodia into a collective workforce. Within 3 years, 8 months, and 20 days, an estimated 1.7 million souls had perished from murder, starvation, overwork, and diseases. Its brutality gave the community Hanoi, who had waited for the best opportunity, a pretext for coming to Cambodia in December 1978. The democratic Cambodia was ended and a neo-colonial rule emerged. There are major lessons of the Cambodian nightmare. The first and most important is that the forced march of economic development under a Marxist-Leninist Stalinist program did not work, despite the tragic sacrifices of the people. Little or nothing of lasting value were accomplished, and the system could not even meet the necessities of life. Another thing to remember is that power is dangerous under any circumstance, and absolute power in the hands of self-righteous fanatics is almost certain to produce a living hell like Cambodia during the Khmer Rouge period. Thank you very much.
It was a long prehistoric establishment of the Austro-Asiatic rule. The second stage commenced with the introduction of Indian culture. The third stage combined these two earlier trends into the basic today's Cambodian today. On the golden age of Cambodia was between the 9th and the 14th centuries, during the Angkor period, during which it was a powerful and prosperous empire that flourished and dominated almost all